You once again stepped into the world of survival horror. Good luck. Alright, welcome back to Resident Evil 2. We are in a brand new location that we may or may not have already been to in a previous game that I played on this channel. This is, I believe it's called the Marshalling Yard, which I think is a cool name, personally. We are kind of going to be dropping the handgun for a little while. And by for a little while, I mean potentially the rest of the entire game. There might be a point where I pick it back up, but I don't think that's the case. I think I just go whole hog wild with all the other, you know, guns and stuff that I have at this point in time. So yeah, in Resident Evil 0, Rebecca makes her way over here. This is actually where you fight the tyrant, I think, for the first time, the proto-tyrant. I don't know if it's supposed to be this exact same place. Although the way that they treat it in that game sure makes it seem like it is the exact same place. But, you know, I don't know for sure. But it probably most likely is. Even though the one in that game connected to the Umbrella training facility, and I don't know why it would... Like, are we right now, are we in the Arklay Mountains? Like, I don't know, I genuinely don't know. There might be, like, multiple of these areas that lead into the same... Sherry. Come on. But yeah, I don't know, it's confusing to think about, but yes, Rebecca does find her way here at a certain point in Resident Evil 0. So there's a few things we can pick up here. Got some flame rounds, nice. That's exactly what I needed. And I think there's something back here too. The panel key, that's what we actually need to turn on the train. Now, I wish that you could have just left Sherry out, like, in the train. There's no real reason that you needed to bring her back out. It gives you more opportunities for her AI to be like, I don't want to walk anymore. That was a Devil May Cry noise, wasn't it? I'm almost positive the key entering the thing was like a Devil May Cry menu, like, noise.
My stomach hurts.
Hang in there, Sherry. Her forehead's burning up. I've got to hurry before the embryos pupate.
I threw up, Claire. My stomach hurts. Yeah, I can't even find... I'm looking up if it is supposed to be the same one from Resident Evil 0. Okay, it is, yes. Even though it don't make no sense. How does it connect to that game? Like, seriously. So here we got our second fight. This is with G-birkin. This is probably phase 2. This is a pretty easy boss as long as you just keep hitting him. I think it takes about like 8 or 9 hits, I believe. There you go. It's another one where I knew even if I got hit I was probably only going to get hit the once. So just bring one singular herb with you. You don't need any more than that. And that's another area where this game does it good. In Leon B, you go through this exact same set of events, but I believe Leon fights a different form of Birkin.
Sherry.
Uh, uh, uh. Claire?
Oh, you're finally awake.
Isn't this...
That's okay. You keep it. I'm sure it'll keep you safe.
Thank you, Claire. Even though I'm an only child, neither of my parents ever spent much time with me because of their work. I grew up alone, but now that you're with me, I finally have someone to rely upon.
Sherry. Rest here for a bit. I'll be right back, as soon as I found the antidote for you.
Okay, bye-bye. So yeah, now we are in the final location of the game, where we're probably still not going to be switching back to the handgun. I think from here on out, it's this, the bow gun, and the submachine gun, I think. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure I do not take out the pistol again. Take some healing items, why not? I should take that film with me, that's very important. I also don't like that the submachine gun works like it does in, like, Code Veronica, where... I guess it also works like that in 3, where it's, like, percent-based, which means you basically don't get any... You don't get any, like, ammo pickups for it, really, which I think is kind of a little annoying. Means when you're done with that thing, you are done. This is also an area that Rebecca gets to in Resident Evil 0, although you can't progress past this screen. This is where you run into Enrico, I think? Is that voice Enrico's? So yeah, the bow gun is basically going to work as our handgun from now on. You know, we've saved up quite enough ammo for it at this point that we can just kind of, you know, use it more freely now. We can, you know, afford to waste it on just normal zombies instead of having to hoard it. And I don't know, I've been comparing and contrasting the two games almost this entire time now, the remake and the original game, and I don't know which Umbrella facility I like more. I think it might be a tie, honestly. I really like the layout of the Nest facility in the remake. So, I don't know. I think it's a toss-up. I think it could go either way. It feels bigger in the remake than it does here, which it feels kind of small. And the scope of it, you got that big, like, main hub area with the elevator in it, and it branches off into two different directions. I think I like the scale of that one a little bit better, so I think the remake might slightly edge this out. Although, just like the remake, you have to watch an incredibly long animation of that thing going. Not fun. Now there is one, I would say, key difference between the nest facilities in both of these games. That would be like enemy types. In the remake, it was you had the Ivies, or I think in that game they were called Plant 43s, or maybe I'm mixing that up. You had Lickers, and that was about it. It's basically the same in this, but it's really preference as to what type of like enemy design you like better. Okay, in this game, they're called Plant 43 in this game, and in the remake they're called Ivies, which I think we're about to run into right about here. Yeah, it really just depends which character design you like better. I don't know, I like... The Ivies are creepy, and the fact that they are a one-hit KO is really annoying. And again, you want to use flame rounds on the Plant 43s because they are plants and they will burn. So that's an element of this game that I like that the first game didn't really do. I think it did it vaguely. Like, I think Yawn was weak to certain things. These, I believe, are called Super Lickers. And they are weak to acid rounds, which is, again, why I'm using those. They're either called, like, Enhanced Lickers or Super Lickers, but I think they're literally just called Super Lickers. And this is the point of the game now where you really don't need to worry about ammo too much. Like, yeah, wasting grenade rounds is maybe not great, because if you want to go into the final boss with, you know, a good amount of ammo, maybe it's not a great idea to waste too much. But you can also just, they give you ammo like it's candy. And I'm still just going around picking up as many herbs as I can. Because one big difference I will say between Claire A and Leon B is that I think Claire A has one of the hardest bosses in the game, if not the hardest boss. So that is one thing that we're definitely going to have to prepare for. And going into that boss with as many healing items as we possibly can is definitely not a bad thing. I love when you go to a room in this game and it looks like almost identical to how it looks in the remake. You know, just certain times, I mean, a lot of times in the police station that'll happen, but towards the second half of the game, not a whole lot is really the same. But, like, that room is, like, completely in there, like, all the way in the remake. And it's such an iconic room, the room with, like, all the monitors. At least I think it's a kind of memorable location. So over here we have a locker that we can open up and use the key that we picked up. This will give us grenade rounds, a ton of grenade rounds. I think this might actually be better in Leon B. No. You still just get ammo for that too, but it's nice both times. God damn. That was like 12 rounds. I think it shoots out 3 at a time, so that was like 12 bolts that I had to use on that guy. The one guy and that guy went down in 1, the other guy went down in 12. I guess technically that's 3. This room is confusing. I always forget which way I'm supposed to run in. So, not my favorite location to traverse in this game. Especially when you're coming in and out of this area. And get a little dicey. Not so much dicey, just frustrating to remember, oh right, that area is blocked off. I have to go around the other way. Pretty nice. Getting that key to open that locker is a very nice thing, you know, to have. Now we have more grenade rounds going into the finale.
Annette!
You killed William. I'll never forgive you for that.
Wait!
I've just prepared a sample of the G-virus. And this time, no one will take it from me. This is the most significant piece of research my husband has ever left in my hands.
Stop it! Sherry's in serious trouble. William implanted her with his embryos. There's no telling when they'll pupate. And if that happens, then Sherry won't...
What? William...
Okay. I mean, you ran into him. There's not really much I could do about that, Annette. I'm sorry. I've always liked this part, where you can see him jump away in the gameplay.
William is still alive. He's getting stronger with each skin he casts off. Sherry!
Tell me what I need to know. How can I save Sherry?
I have detailed information. Everything you need to know to prepare the antidote is right here.
I just love the concept of Annette dying, and then Claire is just reading this essay right in front of her as Annette is bleeding out. This is a long note, man.
Save my daughter. And tell her I'm sorry I wasn't a better mother. Tell her I love her. Sherry.
Annette!
Any last words you want me to tell Sherry?
The self-destruct sequence.
Anything you want me to pass on to her?
Repeat,
Take
the
this
self-destruct
essay
sequence
and read
has
it,
been
please.
activated. This sequence may not be aborted. All employees proceed to the emergency car at the bottom platform.
Well, that's probably not great for us. Just saying. Probably the last thing we wanted to hear right about now. So, we're gonna save our game. Sounds like a pretty good idea. Because we are rapidly approaching the end of this game here. In fact, the next video will be the finale of Claire Scenario A before we move on to Leon B. So join me next time when we wrap up Claire's scenario. So, see you then.